This old man is a multi-billionaire, but he's absolutely miserable, because he has 3 completely unmanageable kids. His oldest son parties non-stop, and whenever he runs out of money, he comes to his dad with some brainless startup pitch asking for funding, like installing an elevator on Mount Everest, or designing tiny face masks for mosquitoes. His daughter is the classic spoiled princess, mean, entitled, and wildly wasteful. She's even dating a guy with zero ambition. The youngest son doesn't spend much money, but the trouble he causes is always a nightmare to clean up. I can't even say exactly what he's done. If I did, this video might disappear. As time went on, the old billionaire couldn't take it anymore. He was so stressed he ended up in the hospital with a heart attack. The kids rushed to visit him, but each of them just talked about their own stuff, and none of them asked how he was doing. Furious, the billionaire decided it was time to teach them a lesson. A month later, the 3 kids suddenly panicked. Their father had mysteriously vanished, and their mansion was swarmed by police, who froze all their assets and seized their luxury cars and property. That's when their father finally showed up again. He led them out the back of the mansion, hijacked a passing car, and fled the city with them. Shaken and confused, the kids demanded to know what was going on. Their dad told them he had broken the law and all his assets were frozen, and now they had to hide out somewhere far away. Then he took their phones and tossed them out the window. Seeing their shocked faces, he actually looked happy. Turns out the billionaire wasn't actually broke. It was all part of his poverty lesson. That night, they arrived at an old house in the neighboring city, where they'd be laying low for a while. But the moment they saw the living conditions, the kids were horrified. Dinner was just a few pieces of bread, but that wasn't even the worst part. Next, their father made an official announcement. Starting tomorrow, they would do something they had never done before: get jobs and earn money to support themselves. The next morning, their dad banged a gong to wake them up, pushing them to get out and find work. But the 3 still had hope it was all fake. The oldest son tried to borrow money from one of his rich second-gen friends, but as soon as the friend found out about his situation, he cut ties immediately. The daughter borrowed a stranger's phone to call her boyfriend for help, but since he had always depended on her financially, he couldn't do anything. The youngest, desperate to avoid going hungry, ran to a construction site and fought workers for a lunchbox, even snatching one more on his way out. At the end of the day, the 2 brothers came back empty-handed, but the daughter returned with arms full of shopping bags, and even arrived in a private car. This old man is a multi-billionaire,